Something I doubt I'll ever forget is how the GOP completely railed Hillary Clinton for her actions, or rather her inactions, during the 2012 Benghazi attack, which killed 4 Americans. 4 American deaths makes for 1 Benghazi. Lately, this has been making me think a lot about how Trump's administration's inactions towards the COVID pandemic has similarly caused the needless deaths of Americans. From refusing to order shutdowns, to encouraging his supporters to disregard masks, to literally turning down Pfizer's vaccine on multiple instances. So how many Benghazis is the GOP complicit in? Well, let's see. Today is December 9th. Exactly 1 week ago on December 2nd, 2,762 Americans died from complications related to the coronavirus. That's 690.5 Benghazis. 6 days ago, on December 3rd, that number rose to 2,861. That's 715 Benghazis. Thankfully, the next day, December 4th, the number of COVID-related deaths dropped to 2,439. That's 610 Benghazis. December 5th saw another slight decrease to 2,310 American deaths. It's a slight improvement at only 577.5 Benghazis. And we had a brief reprieve on December 6th and 7th, which killed 1,118 and 1,522 Americans respectively. The 2 best days of the past week still killed 279.5 and 382 Benghazis worth of Americans, before the number of deaths shot up yesterday on December 8th to 2,566 deaths, 641.5 Benghazis. That is a total of 15,588 deaths in the past 7 days alone, or 13,663.5 Benghazis. As I'm sure we can all remember, the GOP completely tore Hillary Clinton apart in 2016 with wall-to-wall coverage of her failure to contain the Benghazi situation. But they've been oddly silent in 2020 in regards to Trump's handling of the coronavirus. And I know what some of the viewers are probably thinking. Something along the lines of, it's unfair to compare Trump's handling of the pandemic to Hillary Clinton's of Benghazi, since COVID is a global issue impacting everybody in the world, while Benghazi was just an isolated incident. But if your main argument in supporting Donald Trump is that other governments are being impacted too, I mean, that's a really weak argument. If anything, it makes things worse for Trump, since he could have just looked around at what more successful countries were doing and emulated them, instead of striking out on his own path, encouraging social gatherings and the rejection of CDC and WHO guidelines. And since somebody is probably typing out a comment on how COVID is a force of nature while Benghazi was man-made, then yeah, so what? We're living in the 21st century with 21st century technology that lets us control the environment. Something being natural doesn't mean it's harder to fight back against. That was only true before the Industrial Revolution. Since then, we've repeatedly shown to be more than capable of conquering the murderous parts of nature with inventions such as seawalls to protect against hurricanes, air conditioning to protect us from deadly temperatures, firearms to protect us from deadly predators, sanitation to protect us from bacteria, and penicillin to protect us from infections. Nature just doesn't kill citizens of developed countries anymore. But you want to know what's man-made and has killed a whole truckload of people? Opiates, whose overdoses kill more than 100,000 every year globally. The Iraq War killed around 500,000 people, and even 9/11, the event that led up to the Iraq War, only killed around 2,600 people. The same 9/11 the GOP keeps screaming at us to never forget. But we're at a point of the pandemic where we're having a 9/11 nearly every day, while the GOP continues to ignore the problem. Talk about a double standard.